This is our inaugural voyage of Peanut, leaving Port Townsend, heading north to Lopez Island. They're calling for strong winds, well, right now, but they haven't really shown up so far. Just giving me a bit of a push. I'm doing almost 8 knots at 1200 RPM, which is pretty good for fuel economy. Sure going to take a while to get used to the sound of that noise, that engine. Man, it's loud. Just tucking along, 1300 RPM or so. Still going 8 knots, almost 8 knots. It's a beautiful day. Sure feels nice to be on the water though. Goodbye, Port Townsend. Well, found some weather. We got wind against tide here, and all of a sudden it got really gnarly as I was getting close to Lopez Island. I'm not quite on course because I'm trying to head into these waves a little bit, but we're getting knocked around a little bit. I'm so glad Tracy isn't with me right now. She would be very upset. This would be challenging for, it'd be unhappy for Tracy even in Fonlo, the 36-foot sailboat. We've got some pretty steep waves here. Some of them are a couple of meters, maybe more. Very sharp, very steep. And I'm kind of getting knocked around a bit here. Whoa! Yeah, just like that. Bet you this boat's never been into anything like this before. The folks who had it before, I think they were quite elderly, and this isn't. It didn't give an indication of it actually being used very much. And this is my inaugural voyage with her. I hope she holds together. It is a wooden boat. Time to come about, I think. Let's see how this works. There's actually where I want to go, but I didn't want to be beam on in these seas. Nope. Let's see how it goes here. Yeah, this is pretty wild for an unknown boat. Going along, it was fine until very recently. I only had a few bouncy bits, but not like this. Well, here I am getting close to port. Right after I finished the last video, the engine died and I couldn't get it started for the life of me. Well, I eventually did, but it took a long time. Rolling like a bastard in the middle of that surf. It turns out it got sucked dry because there's 2 tanks on this thing, but the valve for the one was shut off and it ran out of fuel. And then for some reason, once I figured that part out, the starter switch wasn't working. So I'm trying to get it started, hitting the starter switch, and nothing is happening. I eventually had to use a screwdriver to short out the starter to get the engine started, which of course leaves a big spark, and I was afraid of the boat exploding because I had the fuel system taken apart to see why there's no fuel flowing, blah 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 blah. So something else to look forward to. But it's been a classic journey because something broke down and I had to fix it en route. Lots of fun. Looking forward to getting into my anchor